The sixth way that you can be more charming and charismatic as a feminine woman is learning how to do small talk. There are some people who are very uncomfortable having short exchanges with strangers and in situations where they're not comfortable. This is a skill that will help you. It'll help you to be able to gain access to so many different things when you're willing to have short exchanges for the sake of just having conversation. If you have anxiety, this is something to practice, because if you do have social anxiety, it will not get better if you do not practice. So not worrying so much about what other people are going to think of you, but taking the time to acknowledge people, to have a short exchange if it's appropriate, and shaving off those issues of self-consciousness. Being an overly self-conscious person will kill your charm. It will kill your charisma. Charismatic people will talk to anyone. And this is a wonderful trait for allowing people to be seen. It doesn't matter if they think the person is ugly, is old, is disabled. They're not judging. They are treating everyone as a human being. And small talk is a really nice way to be able to do that. So try to find ways to learn how to have small talk with people and use open body language. Allow people to know that you're comfortable talking to them. Give eye contact, smile, and have a short exchange. And that could be as simple as, wow, this line is pretty long. I guess it's gonna give me some time to send out some text messages. You know, something like that. It doesn't have to be anything deep. When you are having small talk with someone, say you're on a plane and the person next to you wants to have a quick exchange, remember, you are a human. Use language that is common language. Try not to talk above people. Even if you're highly educated, try not to do that. I know this can be difficult sometimes. In my doctoral program, this was something that happened often. Some of the other candidates were so high achieving, and a lot of times when they spoke, it was like, what? Why did you have to say it like that? Like, why couldn't you have just said this? And it was very difficult to talk with them. Even when we would go out to lunch and just have casual conversations, the language was just way too advanced for a normal conversation. Now, we could keep up because we were all sort of at the same level, but if they were talking to someone else, it would be a turnoff. No one wants to feel belittled. No one wants to feel less than in a conversation. So keep that in mind. As a person who is truly intelligent, you can take something very complicated and say it in a very simple way. Of course, if you're a lawyer in a courtroom, I don't want you using common street language. That would be considered inappropriate. But if you're talking to someone at the grocery store, speak to them like a normal person, because doing otherwise can come off as very offensive and distracting. The seventh way that you can become more charismatic as a feminine woman is having a sense of humor, especially when it comes to yourself. You know, people love that. You should be able to laugh at yourself. Some of us are just so uptight and we're so self-conscious, we're overly sensitive, we cannot handle anyone making a joke about us, and we definitely don't make jokes about ourselves. And it's so freeing to be able to have humor in your life. It's something that brings joy to yourself and people around you. So try not to be so uptight and not to think so highly of yourself. Obviously, you want to have self-confidence and all of that. But I mean, putting yourself in a place where you think that you're just above being a human being, above making mistakes, above doing something that is seen as awkward or silly. I remember I was at Target yesterday and I was backing my cart out and I almost bumped into this really old woman and she was startled, and I turned around and I was like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. This cart needs a rear view mirror, come on. And we both just started laughing. and it just eased up the tension. Obviously, I was like, okay, come on, like I need to look behind me as I'm backing up. But instead of making myself feel so bad about that, I just apologized and added some humor to it. I also do this when I'm in a situation where maybe I'm being asked to do something I don't want to do. So I'm at the store and they're like, would you like to sign up for our credit card? I'll usually say something like, no, I have enough drama in my life. And we'll both start laughing. It allows me to get out of that conversation without feeling like bad or whatever. It helps in situations where you just kind of want to ease the tension, get out of a conversation, add a little bit of humor. Humor can also help you when you're in a situation where you're truly embarrassed or uncomfortable. You are human, honey. Everyone goes through the same things in this life, okay? We all buy toilet paper. We all have the same routines in just different ways. So just realize that nothing you're ever gonna do is gonna be such a shock to someone that they can't imagine it happening to themselves. And the more that you embrace this and are comfortable, even in awkward moments, the more charming and charismatic you are as a person. So let's just say you're at the store and you're going shopping, you put your card in and the cashier says, sorry, it's declined. Do you have another card? Instead of just turning red and just freaking out because it's like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing, I have no money. Instead of doing that, you can use a little humor and you can say, oh no, guess I'm doing too much shopping, and take out another card or say, I gotta put it back. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Throwing in a little bit of humor will ease the situation for everyone. Learn to laugh at yourself. You're not perfect. You're always learning, you're always changing, and you're always growing. The eighth way that you can be more of a charming and feminine woman is learning how to acknowledge and greet everyone in a room. When a person has true charm or charisma, when they walk in, people notice. A lot of times they notice them because of the confidence they have when they walk in the room, because of the fact that they look around and they smile at people and they say hello and they seem like they want to be there. Okay, this is really important. When you walk into a room and you don't know people, or you do, say hello. It doesn't have to be disruptive or dramatic, but you can do it in a way where you're walking in and you're just saying hi, smiling at people and letting your presence be known. Of course, if you're very shy and you don't want to be seen, this can be difficult. But if you're trying to make an impression, shaking hands, saying hello, acknowledging people will help you to be remembered. When I was younger and I asked my mom, why do you think I should be a psychologist? Because it's something she initially wanted me to do. And she would say, because Michelle, you could make a rock talk. A lot of times I would talk about certain people and I would have all this information and she'd say, how do you know that? He doesn't even talk. And it's because I would spend time trying to get to know people and be interested in them and listening to them, genuinely asking questions that maybe other people wouldn't care to ask. And this always goes a long way. I have been so blessed because of the fact that I genuinely care. I don't only talk to people because they can do something for me, because they are someone, but because they are human. With every single person, the only reason they have what they have is because of the blessings, the circumstances that they had as people. And I also know that it takes only one tragedy for you to go from the CEO to the janitor, or the CEO to being in jail. No one is better than another person, especially not over a job title. So it's so important that you learn to adopt the idea that everyone is unique and special. Everyone is a child of God. And because of that, you must treat everyone the same. And try not to worry about rejection when you do this. Rejection only comes because a person might be ignorant, might be hurting, might not be ready. And that's okay. This is basic. Acknowledging someone, saying hello, giving someone a little bit of your time. is something we should all do as people. When you have tact, you are being mindful of the things that you say. You are being careful when you're having conversations, not to ask questions that are intrusive or rude. For example, asking a person how much they weigh, asking a person if they're pregnant. If this person is not your sister or your best friend or someone you are very close to, you should never be asking them if they're pregnant or when they're gonna have a baby or if they have a man yet. Now, certain questions you can still ask in a more tactful way. Women who are charming have a way of asking a question without it coming off as rude. So you may ask, are you seeing anyone special lately? Which is the same thing as saying, do you have a man yet? But one sounds super rude and the other one just sounds like small talk. As a beautiful feminine woman who wants to have more charm, you will be careful with the things that you say. You will avoid using profanity, and you will also avoid doing things like sharing too much and gossiping. Final area is being a positive person. People who are charismatic and who are charming are positive. They're not downers. So when you're around them, they're trying to see the best in every situation. And they're very good at sprinkling some sunlight in gloomy situations. We all love being around positive people. We all love hearing good news. We all love being in situations where there's joy. And you, as a feminine woman, can be the one to bring that positive energy into every interaction you're with by shutting down negative thoughts, shutting down negative words other people say, and actively trying to find the good in every situation. Now, I know listening to this, some of you may think, oh, this is a lot. This is hard. I don't know if I can do this. You absolutely can, and you will. These things just take intentional moments where you're focusing on practicing it every chance you get and relying on God, understanding that God is always with you, that He wants you to be the best woman that you could possibly be. And a lot of times you're not happy because you've changed. You aren't supposed to be the way you are. Maybe things have happened and have pulled you away from being this woman. So getting close to God and having Him in your presence will give you this natural aura of godliness. Many times what you may realize is when you are in those moments of spending time in prayer and in fasting, people will start to look at you different. You'll have this new glow about yourself. It'll show up on your face. There'll be something quite irresistible about you that people won't be able to quite put their finger on because it's coming from God. He will give you that grace in situations for people to choose you with no explanation. So rely on God for every single thing that you want to change as a person. With God's help, nothing is impossible. And He says in His word that He is able to do above and beyond all that we could ask or think. So even the little things that you're thinking about, He's thinking big. He can do more than what you're even going to ask Him for. And He will when you have faith in Him. I thank each and every one of you ladies for watching this video. I hope it gave you lots of insight on how you can be more charming and charismatic. It's important to also think of some of these people that you know in your life. This could be a celebrity or could be someone you know personally. I consider Rihanna and Jamie Foxx to be very charismatic people. If you ever watch their interviews, if you see how they interact with their fans on social media or in person, you can see that they have a lot of charisma and a lot of charm. They're not afraid to be normal people. They're very confident, loving, they know how to laugh at themselves, and they exude the characteristics that I spoke about. My father is also extremely charismatic. He's one of those people who can walk into a room and all eyes are on him. He can hold a room together by himself just with his conversation. Happy birthday!
Thank you!
the way that he tells stories. Even at his age now, he is extremely confident in anything that he's doing. He knows how to have fun, laugh at himself, and is loving and caring towards other people. So these are a couple people that I've observed in my own life. But think about your life and the people that you interact with or that you watch and find out what makes them so different. I thank each and every one of you ladies for watching this video and for supporting me on my channel. Make sure to check out my fragrance line, Find Forever Fragrances, and purchase my fragrance 2911. This is a beautiful feminine fragrance that's seductive, mysterious, and sexy. So head over to my website, findforever.com, and use the code FEMININE for 10% off of your order. Also, follow me on my Instagram page at A Feminine Impression, and my personal page, Dr. Michelle Daff. I love you ladies so much, and I'm very proud of you and all the growth that you're making. I will see you in the next video. Until next time, in all things you do, make a feminine impression. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Mwah. Bye-bye.